Hey everyone, this is Razador's Pokemon Shenanigans, and if you've ever wondered how the iconic purple rat of Kanto performs in the region with, allegedly, too much water, then you're in luck. Rattata, like every mon we run in the series, enjoying the benefits of max IVs and egg move, the better ability, and believe me, Guts is way better than Runaway, as well as the nature best suited for it, Adamant for Rattata, is still gonna have its work cut out for it. Compared to Zigzagoon, we're slightly more frail, have lower special attack, but we're not going to use that anyway. But we are faster and a fair bit stronger too. Our speed is actually respectable, considering that our base stat total is 253. Still, not looking forward to that fighting gym. We'll have Hyper Fang nice and early, and though we'll eventually replace it with Steel Power due to better accuracy and effects, an 80 base power same type move for the early game is pretty good. But Focus Energy is the move I really want because we need to embrace being a glass cannon. Like its counterpart, Rattata's got some awesome coverage on this TM list here. But for this run, the list is a little bit deceptive since we're a physical attacker, and as such, Rattata's not great with a lot of these moves. Still, having options is nice, like the ones in Rattata's egg move list. One of my fans mentioned having Flame Wheel as an egg move, and yeah, it's on the list. If the special physical split were a thing, I'd have probably taken it, and it is a cool move. However, all fire-type moves are dictated by special pre-Gen 4. With Rattata's base special attack on top of Adamant nature, I ended up going with Reversal. It's a fighting-type move that deals more damage the lower our health is, so basically Fighting Flail. And we can actually see that in action against Roxanne's Geodude here. And you'll notice that we're poisoned, but I'll talk about that here in a sec. Yeah, you're never going to see Rattata deal that much damage to Geodude in a single hit. Actually, we're going to see it deal more damage, but give me a minute. Now we're poisoned because Poison is one of 3 statuses that activate our ability Guts, which increases our attack power by 50% if we're afflicted with any of those 3. I would prefer Burn, we'll have to wait until we get that one. Guts also ignores the attack penalty that comes with Burn. Also, real quick, honorable mention to our 37 minutes. Rattata got here a lot quicker than I thought it would. Now with our HP at 1, Reversal has a base attack power of 200. Factor that in with the attack buff from Guts, and Geodude suddenly is pretty squishy. Unfortunately, that's not really a thing for Nose Pass, but we're gonna have a way to deal with this. We're going to need to be a little lucky, but, I mean, with as high risk, high reward as we are, a little extra luck never hurt anybody. So, Geodude's a one-shot with 200 base power flail, out comes Nose Pass. Oranberry leaves us with 7 health, so we have 1 turn to get this right. Go for Tail Whip. What we need is a Rock Tomb miss. Goes for Rock Throw and misses. Hey, that works too. With that defense drop and the poison bringing us down to 3 health, we can now use a max power reversal with the defense drop to one-shot the Nose Pass. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a fun run. Now, for the time being, we're gonna go hit up the Poke Center and have our poison removed. You might think, well, how'd you get poisoned in the first place? Well, all I did was roam around Petalburg Forest, encounter Wurmple, and spam Tail Whip till I got poisoned. Now, to avoid backtracking for that, what we can do is battle Fisherman Ted here, because Fisherman Ted has a Tentacool. Tentacool at this level has Poison Sting. It doesn't have a high percentage to poison, but hey, it's what we got. We'll go ahead and just spam Tail Whip until we ourselves get poisoned. And thankfully we power through Confusion there. I mean, we could have just done it again, but it's nice to get it on the first try, you know? And we're definitely saving after that one. Now, while the poison damage we take while on the world map is annoying, thanks to Ruby's immensely generous pickup system, it's pretty easy to stay healthy. So we'll go ahead and make our way to Brawly, and this is still going to be a hard fight because we're around his level, and we're a frail normal type. At our current health, I'm trying to decide what to go for between Hyper Fang and Reversal. I end up going for Hyper Fang just to test out damage. That's almost a one-shot, pretty good, and unfortunately, no lucky flinch. Now, another drawback to the Gut strategy is having an inaccurate move like Hyper Fang. We can have all the power we want, but if we don't hit with our move, it's not really going to help us all that much. Not a big deal, though. These are just scouting battles, trying to see how much damage moves like Quick Attack and Hyper Fang deal to determine whether or not it's safe and better to go with Reversal. Because our health will get to a point where Reversal will deal more damage, even with same-type Hyper Fang. Same-type Hyper Fang translates to about 120 base power. Reversal's base power increments are in 20, 40, 80, 100, 150, and 200. If we do in fact decide to go with Reversal here in this fight, we have to make sure that not only do we survive a hit from Machop, but we have enough health to go into the next fight, and that Reversal is at a high enough base power that can potentially one-shot the Makuhita. In the end, though, I think the 10% miss chance is worth it, because we almost one-shot Machop. Even with Bulk Up when Brawly goes to heal, we'll still deal enough damage to be able to two-shot it. And if you're wondering just how much damage Hyper Fang deals to Makuhita, well, we go for it. Deals all of the damage. Now, we're not in the clear just yet, because May en route to Mobile, the fight at Cycling Road, that is widely regarded as one of the toughest rival battles, and with a single Rattata going into this fighting Combusken, as well as a high health Pokemon like Wailmer, yeah, this could be hard for us too. Could be, not sure yet, so let's find out. I figure we'll start at the health we just happen to end up at, 29 in this case. Go for Focus Energy, it hits with a weak water gun. And hey, Reversal one-shots. We have 4 health for Combusken, allowing Reversal to deal absolutely massive damage. Now, this would be amazing if we could survive a tick of Poison. Poison deals 6 damage to us at this level. We have 4 hit points left. Now, that looked pretty great, didn't it? You know, just have a little bit more health, slap on an Oran Berry, and it'll be fine. Well, we can certainly put that theory to the test, and while that would be correct normally, the thing is we have to make sure that Wailmer doesn't attack us, and he does here. Because if we have 15 out of our 50 HP remaining, Reversal doesn't quite deal enough. And with our health, Combusken could sneeze on us and we'd faint. Still though, I think that entering with 29 health is optimal, because Wailmer going for Splash, that would be the best case scenario. What I would really like is turn when we go for Focus Energy, and then Wailmer wastes its turn with Splash. May does like to use that on Wailmer for some reason. And of course, there's always that 10% chance to miss threat looming over our heads. There we go, Focus Energy, Splash. We'll do Focus Energy again, no Water Gun crit. And as we hit Wailmer with Hyper Fang, that crit not necessary, but always very satisfying. Now at our health, we're going to take a chance with Reversal, and we crit, which is really nice. Not sure if we needed it, but I'll take it. And we can survive one more turn, but one more turn is all we need. Now, I don't know if I would say that battle was tough, considering that we entered with about half health, and we're just trying to figure out how much health we needed to be at certain parts of the fight. Very interesting, though. I had fun with those little attempts. Alright, time to hit up Mobile City and battle Watson. Watson has 2 steel types in Ruby, which is awesome for our reverse, so we're going to go for Focus Energy, and goes for Supersonic and hits. That's unfortunate. And even worse, we end up hitting ourselves, but he misses with Sonic Boom. So now it's time for us to go on the attack. We go for Reversal, and a critical one-shots it. Now, Voltorb is pretty frail, so it shouldn't take more than 1 Reversal to take it out, and we're correct. And as Magneton comes out, our health is getting pretty low enough, in fact, for Reversal to straight up one-shot this beast. We didn't even need a critical hit for that. That was awesome. Hey, anytime we first try Watson is always cause to celebrate. Now, with Watson's defeat, we can use Rock Smash outside of battle, so we're gonna go and grab the Strength HM. Sometimes I do forget to do that, believe it or not. It's not much of a time sink to go back to Verdantruth, I think's how you say that city. But still, better to get it here than have to come back, you know? Now, we want to get burned, no more poison, that way we don't have to take any more damage on the world map. Gonna be very helpful. All we have to do is enter Magma Pass, Chimney Pass, I always forget this place's name, and encounter either a Torkoal or a Slugma. Have it use Ember until it burns you. And considering that Ember has a 10% chance to burn, this is a rather tall order. Now, I'll tell you, in the footage you're seeing here when we encounter Torkoal, I end up not getting burned. I couldn't find the footage where I did get burned. It was off of a later fight. But basically, if it takes up too much time or I run out of power points, I'll just reset and keep going for random encounters. So we are burned for Watson, and even with Intimidate, Secret Power is dealing about half to Mightyena, and confuses it. We do still get hit with Bite, unfortunately, but Maxi opts not to heal, surprisingly, so we're able to take it out. As Golbat comes out, we go for Secret Power, deals a little bit more over half, very nice. Confusion's really not paying off for us either. That orange berry kept us alive, and he didn't heal again? Really? He has super potions. Alright, Camreps, come here, baby. It's reversal, all or nothing. Critical hit. I'd say that's the all side of all or nothing. Now, as for Flannery, I don't think she's gonna be so easy. I mean, yeah, sure, her Slugma aren't gonna be much of an issue, but the Slugma that she leads off with has Sunny Day, which is fine. We can set up Focus Energy. Free turn. So here's where I get into my finger twiddling Mr. Burns pose, and I'm like, what can I do here now? What if I go for a quick attack? Yes. Excellent, critical hit. I don't know, I think that sounds more like Myron from Fallout 2 than Mr. Burns, but you know, we make progress on that voice acting. Now, because we one-shot something with quick attack, I had to go for it again, and, well, this time we don't, and we end up getting punished really hard with Flamethrower. I deserved that one. Now, we absolutely need Focus Energy for Torkoal. No way are we one-shotting it with Secret Power, even if we have the power of Guts on our side. Not even Dig would do it. So check this out, right? We go for Focus Energy, and it responds in kind with Overheat, and we survive it. Well, okay, we can test out some uncharted waters here. Now, I don't think I'm gonna blow anybody's mind when I say Reversal, one-shot Slugma. And unfortunately, I'm looking at our HP bar, and yeah, the second Slugma is not going to be a problem either. But at 6 health, with 9 being our Poison Tick damage, we're not going to be able to see how much damage we deal to Torkoal. Well, so much for that theory of testing out uncharted waters. Well, that's not entirely true, because we still have plenty of, experiments to perform with our lab rat Rattata. I think that Reversal is too risky for this fight, though. And Secret Power with same type gives us 105, so we can see... yeah, that damage against Torkoal, I don't even think a base 200 reversal is going to save us here. Okay, so we know that the Slugma are very easy one-shot, so we can just zoom right by them and get to Torkoal. We go for Secret Power, and Secret Power causes Torkoal to lose its turn to Paralysis. And take a look at that. Focus Energy, the unsung hero, the linchpin to our success so far. Well, I think Focus Energy and Reversal can fight through that one, but I prefer them as a tag team myself. Now, you would think that Norman's gonna be easy, because Reversal is a fighting-type move, and he has normal Pokemon, but Ruby Sapphire Norman has 2 Slacking and a Vigoroth, so it's more like he has the pseudo-legendary but not really team. Still though, I am curious to see how much damage Reversal will deal to Slacking, so we're gonna enter this fight with 13 health. We'll go for Reversal. You know what, I can't even be disappointed by that. The idea that a Rattata can almost one-shot Slacking is just awesome. So I decide to try again, just in case we get a critical hit. And hey, we can see how much damage it deals to the second Slacking. That'll be useful information, right? Well, that would be correct, but he outspeeds us and one-shots us with Facade. So I'm pretty stubborn and decide to try this a couple times, because I'm like, wait, what if Slacking 2 goes for Focus Punch? It loves to do that inexplicably, and it should prefer it because it is a super effective move. Now, you're going to see a way that I conserve power points because I don't want to get rid of our burn. I'm going to go ahead and teach Double Team here. Don't worry, we're not going to use it in battle. And then I'm going to replace it with a TM for Secret Power. Now, there's a good way to make use of Double Team in one of these runs. For the record, I'm not anti-Double Team, I just know that a fair bit of people don't like that, and I don't like to rely on that as the primary strategy either. But if you saw the Pikachu run, you know, Pikachu learns it naturally, so it makes a bit more sense to use it there because it's part of Pikachu's bread and butter. But for Rattata here, you know, TM fodder, also a great use for it. Okay, that's enough rambling for me. I think I have something figured out to take out Norman. We do have to be faster than the second Slacking, though. We need a Secret Power proc, and for it to lose its turn, so then we can set up Focus Energy. The follow-up Secret Power takes out Slacking. Against Slacking number 2, we go for Secret Power, we cause Paralysis, and it loses its turn. Very good. We did need that, by the way. If we did survive, it'd be with the Sliver, and the burn damage would probably take us out. Slacking 2 gets paralyzed off of Secret Power. Norman heals with a Hyper Potion. Now, our follow-up doesn't crit, but our HP is low enough to where we switch to Reversal. We can take out the second Slacking and the Vigoroth. I have to say, that was probably the most fun Norman fight I have had in a long time, especially in Ruby Sapphire. And when I say I have fun, I mean I'm having a blast with this run because, I mean, think about it. With Guts, we have a soft time limit to win each fight, Therefore, every fight that's not just some random trainer with like 1 or 2 Pokemon who are meant to just be taken out require us to think, strategize, and scouting battles usually are necessary to just kind of figure out how much health we need to be at, what's better between Secret Power and Reversal. Secret Power secondary effect is that much more useful. Oh, and it's about to get even better because now we have Facade, the TM we got from Norman, so what do you say we test that out on Winona here? Now, I gotta say, here in Ruby, is gonna be pretty special because Winona leads off with the Pokemon that the Guts Facade strategy kind of came from. Turns out Rattata is the true master of the craft. As Pelipper comes out, I go for Focus Energy, goes for Protect. Good thing I did that. We're gonna need it anyway. And obviously we're gonna one-shot Pelipper. That crit was just catharsis because that thing's pretty annoying. Now I go for a bit of HP manipulation here. I'm trying to get it to bring me lower for Reversal, but I got crit by stealing. That's okay though, not a big deal. That was kind of silly in hindsight, so I'm like, oh yeah, this is the Flying Gym. As much fun as I want to have with Reversal, now we're gonna go with Facade. One-shotting Skarmory with a critical Facade is what I should have done the first time, but hey. Altaria is also no problem. Yeah, Winona, very, very easy. Now, as we prepare for Tate and Liza, part of me is considering getting Shadow Ball for the fight, but then I'm like, nah, that's the Gen 1er way of thinking, seeing super effective and just using it. Now, Lunatone and Solrock are part Rock type, so they resist normal, but Facade with same type is 105 base power. That doubles because we're burned, and then we add the Guts damage onto it, so that's still gonna be stronger, right? And not only that, but with how we're going about PowerPoint management this run, I want to put off using Shadow Ball for as long as possible. Well, let's see how Tate and Liza like some Guts Facade strategies. Now, the first turn is by far the most dangerous because we need to set up Focus Energy to even try to get this to work. Zigzagoon's Odor Sleuth literally does nothing for this fight. So let's target Solrock. It has the better physical defense. Okay, a one-shot crit, liking that. We end up surviving Psychic from Lunatone. Our Citrus Berry keeps us in the fight just a bit longer, so we're gonna go for Facade. And look at that, another critical hit. Not very effective. I think this game's lying to us. One-shotting is known to be pretty effective, a little-known fact. But hey, the best part about that fight was that Tate and Liza immediately attacked our expendable Pokemon. Aw, they are learning. Now, Maxie might actually be a bit tough because I am worried about Crobat outspeeding us because, well, I'm thinking about slacking too from Norman. I'm like, well, if that happened, Crobat's even faster. We haven't leveled up that much, so it might be. Also, Mightyana's Intimidate could play a factor in this fight. Only one way to find out if at least the latter part is true. Out comes Mightyana, we go for Facade, and it's a one-shot. Nice. Out comes Crobat, it is faster, goes for Wing Attack. It likes Confuse Ray, but I'm not going to complain about that. Oh, and we don't even one-shot the Crobat. Interesting. Well, Super Potion's not going to save Crobat. Well, if we didn't one-shot Crobat, we're not going to one-shot Camerupt. Or we are... What?! How does that work? I mean, Camerupt's way bulkier, right? We must have gotten, like, the 1 in 16 lowest possible damage roll against Crobat. Oh, Wallace is on screen. Give me a sec. Love Disc goes down, and Whiscash is a bit bulky, but not bulky enough to withstand Guts Facade. Out comes Cilio. Down goes Cilio. Out comes Seaking, trying to be relevant on the internet again. But he faints, falling back into our memories, where he belongs. And even the mighty Milotic is a one-shot from Rattata's Guts Facade. Oh, I know it'll be fun, beating up Wally and taking his lunch money. I think about Focus Energy, but I'm like, nah. I thought about setting up against Delcatty for Magneton, but we're just gonna risk it. Unnecessary, because we have Hidden Power. First time using it in this run. Hey, did you know we didn't even use Hidden Power in Zigzagoon's run? That was pretty fun. Next up is Roselia, but it goes down. And not even the mighty Gardevoir can stand up to Guts Facade. Loving that. Yo, we gotta go try the Elite Four. I gotta see how far Rattata can get. But before that, we're gonna hit up the Elite Four, get those two guys guarding the way to Sydney out of the way because we got badges, and they ain't worth our time. I always do that when I arrive here at the league, just to get it out of the way. Saves a bit of time because I like to go run some errands. Just some last-minute things, get some items, extra rare candies, PowerPoint restoring items, and after our little sailing expedition east of Dewford, we're gonna go get the White Herb. south of Rustboro. We're gonna need that for a fight later on too. White Herb is a held item that when you're hit with a status reduction like Sand Attack or Intimidate, it will undo the debuff, consuming itself in the process. And you're gonna notice as we save, do inventory, all that good stuff, that we actually don't have any full restores. Because, I mean, why would we want to get rid of our burn? We gotta work through the pain, man. No pain, no gain, they say. And that's actually been a pretty good source of money in this run, because we don't want to get rid of our status affliction. Any full restores that we would get through pickup, we would just sell them. I mean, yeah, they're not as valuable as something like nuggets, but you get them in bulk and they start to add up. Now, I have no idea how well Rattata's gonna do here at level 59, but with that 5-hour, 19-minute time it took to get here, I'm pretty proud of this little fella. It's like watching the son I'd never had. So, as Sydney leads off with Mighty N, we're not gonna equip the White Herb. We do need it, just not for this fight. At least I hope not. Okay, we don't need it. Very good. Well, looks like Cacturn's coming out next. We're gonna go for Facade, and it is a one-shot. As Sharpedo comes out, we're gonna go for Facade. We will take some rough skin damage, but that's the only damage we take. Following that defeat, Sydney sends out Absol, his ace, goes for Snatch. Well, he can snatch this critical hit. Probably not the use he had in mind for it. And last, certainly least, is Shift Tree, but one Facade, and it's done. Well, gotta say, Rattata's start on the Elite Four is pretty good. In preparation for Phoebe, we are gonna go get Shadow Ball. We did backtrack and grab the TM from Mount Pyre. And I always make sure to save a Person Berry for this fight because Dusclops #1 has Confuse Ray. When it doesn't like using Curse, it loves Confuse Ray. That said, Dusclops is very bulky, so we're gonna go for Focus Energy, and it goes for Future Sight. Ah, neat. And check this out, critical hit, immediate payoff. Next up, she sends out the first of her 2 Bayonets, but that's not the one I'm worried about. I mean, case in point right here. The one who comes out next, Sableye, not particularly strong, but it has no weakness, and unfortunate that Future Sight didn't miss. Shadow Ball doesn't crit, Faint Attack doesn't take us out, but the burn damage does. You know what, that's not a bad first try at the Elite Four. Well, I do really appreciate the fact that Sydney is completely free as Rattata, so we can go ahead and just speed by him. Don't ever have to talk about this fight again. Very good for me. I want to take another crack at this fight, because if we can crit Sableye, then we should be able to win. Rematch turn 1 goes the same way. Focus Energy, Future Sight. Hey, no crit needed for Dusclops. That's interesting. Now, we already know that Bayonet's gonna be a one-shot. Sableye, we just have to crit, and we should be good. Hey, look at that critical hit. Let's see if my theory holds up. Bayonet 2 is a one-shot. Alright, moment of truth. Do we one-shot the second Dusclops? We do not, but it goes for Ice Beam for some reason. I'm pretty sure Earthquake would have taken us out. Well, that Citrus Berry caused us to win the fight. Okay, with a modest bit of luck, we can get by Phoebe. Well, next up is Glacia. Let's see if we can keep this little streak of ours going. Focus Energy, Hail turn 1. So Glalie is a one-shot, of course, and as Celio comes out, I'm like, let's use Shadow Ball. We get lucky with that crit. Next up is a slightly higher leveled Celia, but slightly higher level, still a one-shot. Glalie 2, also a one-shot with Facade. But what about Wailord? Oh, it's looking... No. Oh, man. And next attempt reversal's no good either. Okay, so Sydney is completely free. We know that already. We're gonna pop our rare candies by Phoebe, and then suddenly Sableye stops being a problem. I figure it's best to use them there. That way we can accumulate a little bit of experience points. Now, I'm terrible at calculating XP across these level up groups, but maybe we'll be level 68 by the time we get to Drake. And there's my good old Shell Bell. Don't think we'll need it for this fight, though. Believe it or not, making the Shell Bell is actually one of my favorite parts of this run, because you gotta wait for the tides to change. So for one tide, I'll do what I can, then I'll stop, take a much-needed break, go exercise or whatever, come back, finish up, and then continue. Now, Walrein we left with very little health before, but now that we're level 68, I was right, level 68 before Drake, we can very easily one-shot it. So for Drake, I'm considering what we should use for our held item. The Silk Scarf does give us 10% extra damage. I know it's 20%. Gen 3 was 10%, same with Gen 2, it was called the Pink Bow. But I decided to opt for our White Herb instead, just to undo Salamance's Intimidate. Intimidate is the only thing I can really see being an issue with Drake here. It's also gonna depend on when Salamence comes out. But hey, you know what's great about the Drake fight is that he starts off with Shelgon, pretty safe for us in this run. One Facade and it's out of here. Altaria's a one-shot. Flygon 1's down. Flygon 2 is down. Out comes Salamence. There's Intimidate, Whiter. What, Salamence thinks he can scare Rattata? What an idiot. And the real icing on the cake is that we are at a very nice level. Alright, so the Elite Four are completely free as Rattata now. That's very cool. Steven is going to be pretty tough. He has a bunch of steel types. Most of his team resists us. But Skarmory is the one we just don't have a good answer for. If you remember from the Wally fight, our hidden power did massive damage to Magneton. As in a one-shot, that hidden power is going to come in handy for this fight as well. But it's not going to help us much against Skarmory, so we're going to have to just try and brute force this while burned. So to that end, I say we go for Focus Energy. And hey, turn 1 spikes, what better way to lead off? We're gonna go for Facade. Oh man, check that out. Almost a one-shot with a crit. Skarmory takes off about half our health with Steel Wing. All good though, Steven heals. We crit again, and the follow-up will take out Skarmory. So I'm feeling pretty good about that one. And then, I feel a sense of dread as Armaldo comes out. This thing has battle armor. Can't be crit. You can even see me pause there. I'm just like, oh god, I forgot to grab Iron Tail. And I mean, that's not bad damage with Facade, but Ancient Power, yeah, we're Dunyan Rings. So we're gonna have us a lightning-fast gauntlet run through the Elite Four, just to show that Rattata can, in fact, sweep these guys. We have a great strategy for each of these team members. And the fact that we can pretty much coast our way to Steven means that Rattata certainly should be capable of the no-save. I mean, it's gonna be pretty difficult because we gotta get lucky against Skarmory. And we are going to have to go grab Iron Tail to deal with Armaldo, because Armaldo cannot be crit, although that's a good investment anyway, because although it does miss 1 in 4 times, I can't wait to deal with that. It is also great against Cradilly, it just makes it a good move to have clear across the board. The TM for Iron Tail can be found in Meteor Falls, and once you have access to Waterfall outside of battle, which I believe is the 8th gym, so yeah, endgame anyway, you can always swing back there and go grab it if you want to. There's also the TM for Dragon Claw. Rattata can't learn it. We're not going to get it when we go back there. And Steven, Focus Energy Spike, same as before. Get a load of this bull hockey. We don't crit Skarmory, but Skarmory crits us with Steel Wing. Thanks, that was helpful. Now, we're not going to go get it just yet, because for some reason I was really stubborn and being like, hey, what if we two-shot Armaldo or something? Maybe we can do it. But this is still pretty useful footage to show here. It shows just how wrong things can go with Skarmory. I mean, by the footage, I don't mean what you're seeing right now, because, hey, I need some footage playing to talk about this problem. And, I mean, the Elite Four are all Rattata's whipping boys at this point, so what better way to talk about strategy and the like than to beat these guys over and over again while I'm not saving, just to show that it's being done. And, well, there's just something immensely satisfying about little Rattata just destroying Hoenn's Elite Four. Now, if you do enjoy this run, in addition to the good old like, subscribe, all that good stuff, helps me out, helps you guys out with being able to check out some more of the fun videos here on this channel. I did a run not too unlike this. If you go to my standard solo Pokemon challenges playlist, you can find a Fire Red and post-game run with Raticate. Now, in Invasive Species, I don't do post-game. Those runs end at the champion. But in standard Fire Red runs, we do the post-game because I like to see how we match up against the rematch teams. So here's another issue Skarmory presents to us. It goes for Steel Wing, and Steel Wing has a chance to buff its defense by 1 stage. If that happens, yeah, we can kiss our chances of winning goodbye. Fortunately, backtracking to Meteor Falls to get Iron Tail doesn't take too much time. Just buy some repels, you'll be alright. Dig your way out, fly back. Here we are. Turn 1 has to be Focus Energy Spikes. Turn 1 Facade does not crit. Shell Bell helping out with that burn damage, and Steel Wing brings us to 91. Our second Facade crits and takes out Skarmory. We know Armaldo's next. Iron Tail cannot miss. It doesn't, and even better, it is a one-shot. We at level 71 gives us a bit more firepower. We're going to need it because next up is Claydol. We'll switch over to Facade and easily one-shot this thing. Next out is Aggron. We're going to switch over to Hidden Power Ground and one-shot it. Don't forget, Aggron is double weak to ground. So, Cradilly or Metagross? Cradilly's next. Alright, please don't miss Iron Tail. Oh, thank the gods. I mean, all that's left is Metagross. Our best answer for it is going to be Hidden Power Ground, so let's go for it. Oh yeah, critical hit. Without that crit, we can't take him down. So yeah, Steven was pretty hard as Rattata, not gonna lie. You guys saw it firsthand too, so yeah. Definitely one of the toughest champion fights we've had on this channel, but the most fun for me personally. I just like the idea of Rattata speeding past the Elite Four, just to basically bounce off a Skarmory and keep coming back for more. And I had to show you all of those tries at the Elite Four, the progression at which we went, because with how many tries it took to beat Steven, it took me about 45 minutes, by the way. You had to follow I feel like I couldn't tell this adventure without showing that much detail. And it was such a fun time. I loved this run. But that's enough of me gushing over the adorable purple little rat. I always liked Rattata. Check it out. We clock in at level 71, way lower than Zigzagoon. Now, we did have to backtrack for Iron Tail, so where does that leave our final time compared to that of Zigzagoon? We were 8 levels lower, and still subbed 6 hours. Zigzagoon didn't do that either. Rattata way better than Zigzagoon, no question about it. And yeah, Zigzagoon had a way easier time at the league because its only bad matchup just needed a 20% miss chance, which we got on our second try. Whereas Rattata, well, Steven is pretty brutal for normal types, especially pre-evolved normal types. So, level 71 is C tier, 554 A tier, that would be B. But because Rattata cleared the no-save gauntlet, it's also an A. Next Invasive Species run is a surprise. See you there.